This conference will now be recorded.
So what is master data? Master data is which we create once, store it centrally, and use it in the day-to-day activity, right? That is like you take bank data. So if you want to open a bank account, we go to the bank and we submit all our documents and everything, and we open an account. And from later, we will be referred with the account number, right? So every time you go to the bank, you don't need to submit your documents or identity proofs, right? Only once it is enough. And later, you will be referred with the unique number called as account number, right? So that is what master data is. Master data is something which we create once, store it centrally, and use it in the day-to-day transaction. So in SAP, we have various master data, but when it comes to the SD module specifically, we have 4 master data, which is relevant for SD module. So what are the 4 master data we have? One is customer master, material master, CMIR, and condition master. These are the 4 master data what we have, which is relevant for SD. So customer master is all about customer data, customers address, customers preferences, and everything. Then we have material master. Material master is all the data, weight, volume, color, everything, all the specifications of a material. And CMIR is a master data with a combination of customer and the material, but not in all the sense, like very limited. Couple of fields where we can maintain the combination of customer and material. Then we have condition master, or we also call this condition master as pricing. Condition master pricing. So these are the 4 master. We have a couple of more as well, batch data, something else like this, but these are the 4 master data which we have primarily. So master data is maintained by end users. Any master data is used by is maintained by end users. But why, as a consultant, we are learning how to create a master data? Because as a consultant, we should have the 360-degree knowledge, right? So user, if they know how to create master data, that is enough. But for a consultant, we should know every field, every functionality. If customer is asking for something, we should know where to configure it, where to provision it, right? So as a consultant, we should know every field and every functionality. But for user, they don't need to know them. They need to know only how to create master data. That is enough. So that is the reason, as a consultant activity, it's not only SPRO configurations. We should also know how to create master data and transactions. So this creation of master data in the business will be given to master data team, because like this is, it's not like, let's say in your business you have 100 users, all the 100 users will be having access to create master data. Because today what is most important for any business today, what is very important is that is data. So they cannot expose this data to every user or every other person in the business. So there will be a master data team who would be maintaining this particular master data, which they are called as master data specialists. There are a couple of modules also in SAP for master data, like MDM, MDG. These modules are specifically only to maintain the master data. Because see, data comes from various sources, right? So data can be organized, unorganized data. Data can be in text format or picture format. Data can be in various formats. So this all data has to be processed, cleansed, and maintained, right? This all can be done by MDG, Master Data Governance Module. So whatever this master data would be maintained, they are called as master data specialists. And only 1 or 2 people in the business will be having this access to do, and they're called as master data specialists, right? So This customer master is classified into general data, company code data, sales area data. It's all classified into, let's say, three screens. That's what we call it is, right? But in one interview, they asked a question, what data you see in the customer master? In the customer master, what data you see? You see, the questions in the interviews would be tricky. 90% in the interviews, we know the answers. 90%, more than 90%, we know the answers. Only the thing is, we should understand the questions. If you are wrong in the interview, majority times you don't understand the question. If not, 90% you know the concept, you know the answer, but you don't understand the question, right? Because questions would be tricky. So we used to call this as screens or something else, but in interview, one interview they asked a question saying that what data we see in customer master? What data? The same, general data, company code data, sales area data. So whether we call it as screens or data doesn't matter. The answer is same. But in the interview, they ask this kind of question. Okay. So whatever we are learning, it is not exactly the 100% the same way you will use in the business or interview. The question will be the same. There might be some twists in the question like this, right? So this particular customer master is a major integration between SD and FI module. So the integration of SDFI, you will see under the general data. You could see some data is maintained by SD and some data is maintained by FI. But when it comes to company code data, it is purely by FI, and sales area data is purely by SD. So we have this particular integration data maintained here in the customer master. So how do we create this? We can create either through transaction, the menu path, or you can go through the T codes and we could maintain it. And if you want to create both SD and FI, everything with a single transaction, then this is the transaction. If you want, general data is by default anyway common. But if you want to access only FI data, then you will see general data plus company code data. General data plus company code data. If you want to see only SD, even then general data plus sales and distribution. General data is the common between SD and FI. So let's go to the transaction and see how this works. XD01. XD01, create customer. So whenever we are creating a customer, the first field we select is account groups. So who will create this customer? Who will have the access to the screen? Anyone?
End user.
End users. Okay. So consultants will not have access to this, or consultants will not do this. Only end users will do that. Right. So whenever we are creating a customer, the first we select is account groups. So why we select this account groups? That is, see, in SAP, any stakeholder of the business is identified as partner. Customer is considered as partner. Employee is considered as a partner. Vendor is considered as a partner. Competitor is also considered as a partner. Bank, court, lender, anything it is, okay, considered as partners. So when it comes to the customer is identified as different partners like sold to party, ship to party, bill to party, payer. There are various, the customer is classified into various partners like sold to party, ship to party, and bill to party and payer. See, you take any business, let's say, can we have two TCS or
No.
two Maruti cars or two Teslas?
No.
No, right? It could be only one. Okay. So that is a custom. But can they have branches?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? Any number, right? There is no limitation, any number. So the customer, the primary customer, the one and only one customer, that is called as sold to party. Sold to party is the primary customer with whom you negotiate the contracts, quotations, finalize the orders, send the order confirmations and everything. That is sold to party. And this is unique because there can be only one Tesla or one Apple or only one Apollo hospitals, right? Your customer can be only one. But you take Apollo hospitals, they can have hundreds of branches. Tesla, they can have hundreds. Apple can have hundreds of stores, right? So the customer, what we create in the system is sold to party. Then we have ship to party, to whom we deliver the goods, and bill to party, to whom we send the bill, and payer who will pay for this bill, right? There are codes in the system. This is how they are identified. Okay. So sold to party, ship to party, bill to party, and payer. So a sold to party, which is a primary customer we create in the system and unique, will also behave as a ship to party, bill to party, payer mandatorily. A sold to party is mandatorily a ship to party, bill to party, and payer mandatorily. But other than this, a sold to party can have n number of ship to parties, n number of bill to parties, and n number of payers. But sold to party can be only one. It's unique. Okay. A sold to party is unique, and a sold to party has to behave as ship to party, bill to party, payer by default. And apart from this, a sold to party can have any number of ship to parties, bill to parties, and payers. So if you are creating a customer, first you should tell system what you are creating. You are creating a sold to party, or you are creating a ship to party, or you are creating a bill to party, or a payer, because the fields, the importance, everything changes as per the partner function we select. Because see, a ship to party, why would a ship to party need billing details? Do ship to party need billing details? Anyone? For the purpose of shipping, do you need billing details?
No, we don't need any.
Not necessary, right? At the same time, for a payer to pay the bill, do they need shipping details? Not necessarily. Only billing
No.
details are enough, right? So that is the reason a ship to party will behave as a ship to party, bill to party will behave as a bill to party, and a payer will behave as a payer. But there will be one unique sold to party which is behaving as all the three other functions. That means a bill to party can receive the goods, can receive the bill, and can also pay for the bill, right? So when I'll also show you what makes a difference and how different it will be. Let's say if I'm selecting sold to party. Sold to party in the system is identified with a code called as 0001. Okay, I'm trying to create a sold to party and organizational elements. We have created org elements, right? And we also discussed that is once we've done with our our enterprise structure, then it will allow us to create master data. So that's the same thing. So once we give all this data and enter, and now you see these fields. I'll just only enter mandatory fields here to show you something. And if I go to sales area data, in the sales area data, you see here, we have a couple of tabs, right? Forget this documents, we don't need this. But sales, shipping, billing, and partners. There are 4 tabs. And out of this particular sales tab, okay, in the sales tab, you see the fields. This many number of fields we have fields, right? This many number of fields we have when we are creating a sold to party. But now, if I try to create maybe a payer or a ship to party, something else, maybe a payer. Now let's see. Okay, I'll use a different text. Maybe a will to party. You see, there are 2 more mandatory fields. Well, these are mandatory fields. You see the checkbox within the field that is mandatory. If I don't enter, system will stop us. Something random I'm entering here. And now if I go to sales area data, you see the difference. You see only the sales tab. Even within the sales tab, you don't see all the fields. You don't see all the fields here. And shipping, billing, and partner, this tab itself is not available. Only sales. When we are trying to create a bill to party, right? So why we need to select account groups? Anyone? Because account group controls field status of customer master. Okay, account group controls field status of customer master. What field should be there? What field should not be there? If the field is there, whether it is mandatory or it is optional entry. So what it is? So how would we know that? That is all through the account groups. Account group controls customer master field status, right? So how do we access this account groups? So how we access the account groups? Account groups we access with a transaction code called as OVT0. Okay, OVT0 is the transaction to access account groups. You could see here 0001 sold to party, 0002, 0003, 0004. So this is how each account group is controlled. So if I go to 0001, maybe sold to party. Here you see field status. Under this again we have that particular tabs like general data, company code data, and sales area data. And if I open this particular general data again, if you double click on the general data, you see this, the tabs what we see in the customer master: address, communication, the various tabs: address, control data, payment transaction, what are the various tabs we have. So everything you could see here. And if I get into this address tab, you see lots of fields, name, every field what we see in the customer master. And here you could control whether the field is, you want to suppress, you don't want it, you just hide it. Or mandatory, required means mandatory entry, or optional entry, or display. Okay, so account group controls field status of customer master. Account group controls field status of customer master. So let us see how it works. Let's say if I go to customer master, let's come back. If I create a sold to party, it says name and country are mandatory. Only these 2 fields are mandatory, name and country. How does system know that? Let's go and check in this. You see here, name is marked as required entry, right? And what is the other one? Country, right? Yeah. So I'll do one thing. I'll just suppress this name. So now when we are trying to create this customer, system is asking for name, right? And it's a mandatory entry. If I don't enter, system stops me here itself. You see, it stops me, right? So what I'll do is I'll go back and I'll suppress it, the name. Let's save it. save this. And now again, I'll go back to creation of customer. You see now, there is no field called as name. Earlier, there is a name field called as name, right? You don't see that. And you see only one mandatory field here. Okay. So where it is controlled, it's controlled under the general data. So here you could control like which field to be mandatory, which should be optional, and which should be suppressed. So account group controls field status of customer master. Okay. Controls field status of customer master. So in interviews, maybe they can ask a question. What is the T code for account groups?
OVT0.
OVT.
OVT0, right? OVT0. So in interviews, they may ask a question, what is the difference between OVT0 and OBD2? Okay, OBD2. If I take you to OBD2, you see system says you're already in the transaction and you see account groups. OBD2 is also allowing us to access the account groups. And if I go to the details, you see same general data, company code data, sales area data. What is the difference you have noticed between these two screens? Anyone? This is OVT0, right?
Display and maintain.
And this is this, and this is OBD2. Do you see any difference here?
Yeah, this is the display you had.
What's that?
Is it a one
Where
time?
we can, yeah, and OBD2 is just displaying.
No, yeah, I can change it. As I'm already accessing the account groups in the change mode, the system locked the screen, and in lock screen, only display mode can be active. If I close this particular change, here also I can open change mode. No, that is not the thing. So if you, what is the difference you should notice here is,
Here, sales and
you see here,
distribution.
yeah, you see the sales and distribution data here, which you don't see it in the OBD2, you don't see it here, sales data, right? In OBD2, you don't see the sales data, but in
Only
OVT, you see the sales data, right? So OBD2 is accessed by FI. Okay, this OBD2 account group, because we just discussed, right, it's integration between SD and FI. So OBD2 is accessed by FI to set up the account groups for customer master. And OBT0 is used by SD to set up the customers account group, right? And we have sales and distribution data here. So in the interviews, if they ask a question, what is the difference between OBD2 and OBT0? So this is the major difference. One is SD and one is FI. Okay, so now we know account groups control customer master, right? Yeah, any questions?
Can you open OVT0 once again? And beneath that, we have sales and distribution data now. What are these tabs and all?
We'll discuss. We are not discussing about account groups yet. When we come to this screen, we'll discuss.
Okay.
Okay, we'll discuss everything. Nothing will be left out, but this is not actually we're discussing today. Our focus is learning on this. Okay, so we are creating a customer, and it's, you see here it says internal here, internal, and anywhere while creating a customer, we have not mentioning any customer number. You see, we are not mentioning any customer number here. We are leaving this field customer blank. Okay, we are leaving this customer field blank, and when we get into the customer master, it says that internal. Okay, but when we enter all the data, I'm entering only the mandatory fields. when we enter the data, you see here, it says internal. What we are creating, what is bill to party? Okay, so you see, bill to party, payer, ship to party, it shows partner, it says internal, right? But when I click on save, it's still processing. You see, system has generated a customer number. Okay? The system has generated a customer number here. We have not entered anywhere the customer number. The system itself has proposed the number, right? So how it's possible? This is with a concept called as number ranges. That means when we are creating, when you are creating a customer, how the customer number has to be generated, because every customer will be uniquely identified with a customer number, right? So where do we mention it? That is with a concept called as number ranges. And the number ranges is accessed with a T code called as XDN1. XDN1. And customer number ranges can be maintained as either internal or external. Now, when we create a customer, system has showed us the number, right? We have not entered anywhere, and we just created the customer and saved it, and system automatically showed up the customer number. So how it's possible? That is with this particular scenario, number ranges. And number ranges can be maintained either as internal and external. Internal means what just happened. That is, whenever we create a customer, whenever we're trying to create a customer, we don't enter the number. We leave this field blank. You see here the field customer, we leave this field blank and enter, then it says internal. Internal means once you enter all the data and then you click on the save button, system will automatically open, generate a customer number. System will automatically generate the customer number when we click on save. External means before even we proceed to create a customer, earlier we have seen it somewhere. You see, even before we proceed with this creation of customer, it says account group is using external number assignment. Okay, it says it is using external number assignment. So specify an account number. So it's asking to mention account number. So customer number can be either internal or external. The preferred is only internal. And how it is? That is through number ranges. So you could see here, there is a series like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is series. And each series is holding some range. Okay. Each series is holding some range like this. So what controls customer master? Anyone? What controls the customer master?
General data, company code data, sales area data.
Account groups. Okay, account groups. Account groups not only control the field status of customer master. You see here something called as number range, right? So what is the customer now? Number system generated now for us. This is the number, right? What system just generated? Okay, just now we have created one customer, right? Most probably the number what system generated is this one, 1000077. Anyone you remember? Have you observed it?
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
the number?
same, yeah.
Same number, right? Yeah. So
Yes, yes.
you see 0 series number 0 is holding this range, and 03 number range series is assigned to sold to party account group here. So how do system know this number has to be generated? That is because this account group is already holding this range. So whenever we are creating a customer, I selected sold to party. And in the account groups of sold to party, already it is mentioned the number range series should be 03 and a range is assigned to that. So system knows internally what number has to be picked up. That's how system has picked up the number and assigned it to the customer. If it is external, manually we have to enter. Why it is external? Let's see. Let's go to 003. Let's open account group 03 payer, and in the payer, what is the series assigned? Series is assigned as 77. Let's go to XDN1 number ranges and see what is 77. You see 77 is marked as external. You see this checkbox on the right extreme corner, you see external assignment. By default it will be internal. Okay, by default it will be internal, but if you want to mark any range as external, you need to activate this. But you can do this only once. Okay, you can do this only once. You see, there is not even a single customer created here in this range 77. That is the reason you still have an option to switch between internal and external. Even a single customer is created, this will be freezed, and you cannot switch between the internal and external. Either it could be internal or external, it would be freezed. You cannot change this, right? And what is this NR status? What is this NR status? NR status, this will tell what is the current number being used out of this series. So when now we created a customer, this is the number system generated, right? And that number is populating here, saying that this is the current number being used. If I create one more customer, then it will be 1 all zeros, 78, 79, 80, 81. It keeps following until this last number, right? So this is number ranges which we maintain with XDN1, and number ranges is also assigned to account group. And when we create a customer, then system will, when we create a customer, then automatically system knows how the number has to be assigned if it is internal. If it is external, then user has to manually enter. External is not used in daily scenarios. External is used only in one-time customer scenario. So now it is external here, right? And it is asking for us to enter the number. You see? So I'll give the number here. And you see, before even we enter the data, system already know what is the customer number here because we have entered it external. Okay. So this is number range concept. Yeah, go ahead.
But why we require external if we can put a range? When we require external?
Yeah, external is used by one-time customer scenario. If you observe here, there is a checkbox. You see, one-time customer. Okay, usually used in the retail industry. And account group for one-time customer is CPD. CPD and CPDA is one-time customers, which is marked here, right?
That
And
means customer is like
the range.
we rarely get customer, right?
No, that's a scenario. I'll explain. You see the number range 5, series 5, marked as external, right? Marked as external. And you see the CPD. CPD is using 05 external, and it's a one-time customer. So what is one-time customer is, let's say you take Big Bazaar or you take Walmart. is it compulsion that you should visit the same store every time? Is there any chance will you visit that store again in a lifetime? Maybe or may not be, right? So this in the retail stores, let's say you are on a trip and you went to some nearby Big Bazaar or some Walmart. Maybe never you will take that again, that trip in the lifetime, and you may not go to the same Walmart. Why do they need to take all your details, your address proof, ID proof, all the data? Why would they need to maintain? There is no purpose, right? You are a one-time customer. So for this one-time customer, we don't waste our database. We don't maintain all the data. So for one-time customer, if you notice here, if I create a customer using one time, if I'm trying to create a one-time customer, system is asking, use CPD. One-time customer, system is asking for external number. And if I provide this external number here, I'll provide external number, and you see, system will not ask any data for us. Nothing actually. Even general data is missing here. Someone has hidden it. But usually system don't ask any data. Even address also system will not ask us. If you are marking it as external, system and one-time customer, system will not ask for any data except name. Except name, system will not ask any data. Just a moment. Let me create it with a different this thing. What is this CPD, right? Let us take CPD here. In the CPD, I hope it has been suppressed. So what I'll do is I'll use 05 here. Okay. Let's try to create a customer. General data itself is suppressed here. Anyway, so if it is one, or else let us do this way. I'll change the standard one itself to one-time customer. As this is a training system, sometimes we see inconsistency because someone might be playing around with this system. So if I go to general data, you see everything has been suppressed. So if you see this, everything has been suppressed. CPD. Or else general data itself is completely suppressed. Yeah. So usually what happens is just general data is a this one-time customer. What we say is a reusable customer. It's a reusable customer. That means only we create customer here with a customer name, even we don't enter the address. Okay. So where do we enter the address? Even address is entered in the sales order itself. When a customer comes, you open the customer with this one-time customer, and there itself system will ask you to enter the address, and the address is stored in the sales order itself. You don't need to maintain a master record. Okay. The data is saved in the sales order itself, the address and everything of that customer. And that's called as one-time customer, and we may not see that customer again in the lifetime. So for that, we don't maintain complete all the fields we have in the customer master. We don't waste our data for that. Okay.
So what happen if all number range exceeds?
Yeah. See, all number it will not be exceed in the real time, because how many customers a business will have? 10,000, maybe a million. You can maintain. You can maintain. You see the number, how lengthy it is. So even 10,000 is a very big number in the real-time business. Okay. So that is the reason. If it is a retail, let's say we conduct Walmart or Big Bazaar, then you will have millions of customers, one-time customers. That is the reason we are not maintaining master data. We are using one-time customer, same data for every customer. If not, You just imagine for this retail kind of business, if you start maintaining master data, how many customers you have to create? Millions, right? So never this range will be exceeded. We have enough range to go with, right? So this is, let me see if I can save this one-time customer and create an order. So we have created a customer as one-time customer, right? So if I try to create a sales order for this one-time customer, enter, you see system asks for address here itself. Usually in other scenarios, what happens, if I'm trying to create a sales order, let's say for 1,000 customers. So if I'm trying to create a sales order for other customer, system will not ask for the address here. You see, now system don't ask address for this customer because for this customer, there is already a master data maintained, address, everything is maintained. So system will automatically determine the address from the master data to sales order because it is maintained. But for one-time customer, we have not maintained any address, right? Because we don't need it. If you start maintaining that, as I told you, Big Bazaar or Walmart might have millions of customers and we need to maintain millions of data. Not possible practically. So for that reason, what we do is we use this one-time customer, which is a reusable customer, and any address of this customer, anything is saved in the sales order itself. Address from master data for ship to traffic. So document. So it will save it here itself. You enter all the address of the customer here and save it. If you don't want this name standard, change the name and save. Right? So this is number ranges. This is number ranges. So when we are creating a customer, the first field what system asks is account groups. Right? Account groups. Next, we need to enter the sales company code and this all data. And then we need to enter the customer number if it is external. If it is internal, leave it blank, enter. So system knows what number to assign later using the number range. So you got the relation, right? How a customer is controlled by account group. Anything in the customer master is controlled by account group. Anything in the customer master is controlled by account groups, right? So we'll stop it here today, continue tomorrow. And tomorrow we'll discuss this all fields and everything. Probably tomorrow we should reach until the billing tab. Until the billing tab we'll discuss. Yeah, any questions, please go ahead. Get some hands on, everyone. Get the server access and start practicing. Get some hands on because it will take time for you to go around the screens. Okay.
Praveen,
So,
in what scenario we have to maintain number range manually? Like it is not possible we cannot configure the number range because I've seen cases where we are maintaining in Excel, we have given the range that you have to take this number only. Why it is not updated in SAP?
we can even do that. See, who will tell what should be the customer range? That is your customer. Core user will tell, right? All dealers, number range is 1 to 500. Government customers, 5012 1000, right? Maybe institution customer, 1001 to 1500. Like this, your customer will tell what should be the range basing on their requirement. Then we come and configure it here. But in the case what you mentioned, they are not configuring this number ranges, but leaving that customer as an external customer. And the Excel sheet is given when you're creating a customer, you'll go in that series, right? That's what you're doing in your project, right? So we don't
Praveen,
need that. Yeah, we can create a setup this customer master with the same ranges, and we could start using it rather than user entering it. We could allow system itself to prop that number. Any questions?
We have created sold to party, by default 001.
Hmm.
How can it taking the how will number ranges are taken by the system? Or how it is taking, how it is triggering without we have entered any number ranges, no, we haven't created. How it is taking automatically?
Why it is taking? Because that is been already assigned to account groups. Before doing anything in the system, what is the first thing we are selecting in the customer master? Account group. When you select the account group, automatically system knows what should be the number range, what should be the field status, everything system knows here because you have selected account group, right? And in the account group, you already configured saying that if this is the sold to party account group 001, then what should be the number range, what should be the field status, everything you have already configured it, right? So that's how system knows what to be there and what not to be there.
Who creates these account groups?
Account groups is maintained by consultants. Account group number ranges, this is maintained by consultants. That is configuration, that is not master data. Only XD01 is master data. This is user activity. But before user creates this particular, we maintain account groups and we maintain number ranges. Yeah. Any questions, please?
So if we create a account group earlier, then it will be easy for us to understand customer master data, right?
No. That will create more confusion actually. It is not account group. There is one more concept here. See, actually, the configuration is, it should be like this. That is, account group, there is something called as PDP, partner determination procedure, then creation of customer master. Number ranges also comes here. This is configuration. As a consultant, once we set up the configuration, then user will maintain customer master, right? But in the learning will come in reverse, because if we start with configuration, you will not understand what exactly it is you are doing. For what purpose you are doing this number range, what purpose you are configuring PDP, you will not understand that. Because it's the first time you're getting into the system and going around the screens, right? So first, let's get familiar in the first 2 sessions with the customer. That is the reason I'm also opening the account group and showing you where is the impact, from where the number is being picked, or where is the field change is there, right? In the learning, this is the correct way of learning. If we start with account groups and PDP, you will be lost. You will not understand anything because PDP is one such concept which is a nightmare even for working consultants. Okay, so let's start with master data front end. Let's see the front end first. Later we'll see the back end and see how it is being controlled. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So any questions, please go ahead.
What is meant by CMIR, like just abbreviation?
Customer material info record. Customer material info record. Right. So we'll call it a day today. Catch up tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll continue with the customer master. We need another 2 sessions to finish this customer master. So we'll finish customer master, then middle master. So we'll continue. So today is what date? Yeah, probably tomorrow is Friday, right? So we'll discuss even tomorrow the customer master and Monday. We need another 2 sessions at least. Right. So good day everyone, and catch up tomorrow. Bye bye.